Welcome to Streaming News Network, where we deliver balanced reporting with the facts that matter. This edition is hosted by J. Claude McDaniel. Please like and subscribe.
This is J. Claude McDaniel and this is Streaming News Network. We begin with our first report. A 26-year-old college graduate with aspirations in the medical field is dead following a shooting at a house party in Fresno, California. Police say Marijuana Segay became involved in a heated argument with 24-year-old Namadia Knuckles at a gathering Saturday night. Shortly afterward, gunshots were reported. A partygoer attempted to get Segay to a hospital, but the vehicle was stopped near Fruit and Shields Avenues at about 9:20 that evening. Segay had suffered at least one gunshot wound. Emergency medical personnel performed life-saving measures before she was transported to Community Regional Medical Center, where she was pronounced dead. Police say Knuckles was arrested later that night at a Wendy's restaurant near Blackstone and Weldon Avenues. She was booked on suspicion of murder, with bail set at $1 million. Segay graduated from California State University, Fresno, in August 2023, where she studied kinesiology and exercise science. She later worked as a physical therapy aide. Friends remembered Segay as kind, creative and a bright presence whose life was tragically cut short. This is Streaming News Network. A former New Jersey mayor is facing new criminal charges alongside her husband after prosecutors alleged that false signatures were used on a political nominating petition. Gina LaPlaca, 47, formerly served as mayor of Lumberton Township and remains a member of the Township Committee. Prosecutors charged her with making a false statement under oath, knowingly filing a false petition, tampering with public records, and falsifying or tampering with records. Her husband, 49-year-old Jason Carty, faces charges related to allegedly filing the false petition and tampering with records. Investigators say several people whose names appeared on LaPlaca's petition told authorities they never signed it and never authorized anyone else to sign for them. Prosecutors say that without those disputed signatures, LaPlaca would not have had enough valid signatures to qualify for the June 2026 Democratic primary. LaPlaca and Carty are scheduled to appear in court September 21 in Mount Holly, New Jersey. The allegations come months after LaPlaca pleaded guilty to driving under the influence in a case involving her child. Prosecutors said her blood alcohol concentration was 0.30%, more than 3 times New Jersey's legal limit. LaPlaca was sentenced to 3 years of supervision through a pretrial intervention program. This is Streaming News Network. A Tennessee mother is facing charges after police say she abandoned her 15-year-old son along a major highway at night following an argument. 31-year-old Angel Harris was driving south on United States Highway 51 in Millington, Tennessee, with her son when the two began arguing about people the teenager was associating with. According to investigators, Harris pulled over, took her son's cell phone as he tried to contact emergency services, and drove away, leaving him alongside the highway at approximately 7:45 Sunday evening. Police say the teenager had no friends or family nearby who could pick him up. He reportedly had to cross the busy highway without a crosswalk, in nighttime conditions and moderate traffic, to find help. The teenager eventually reached a local restaurant and asked a stranger to use her phone to call 911. Officers responded and found that he was not physically injured, but was emotionally distressed. Police contacted his grandmother, who agreed to pick him up. Investigators say Harris later acknowledged leaving her son and not returning or contacting anyone to check on his welfare. She reportedly also told officers she believed police were not going to do anything. Harris was arrested and charged with child neglect or endangerment and interference with emergency calls. She was released on her own recognizance and is scheduled to appear in court September 17. This is Streaming News Network. A renewed political debate over immigration enforcement is focusing on the case of a Salvadoran national who was released without bail after being convicted of his 4th felony driving while intoxicated offense. Pablo Aguilar Alvarez, 36, had previously been deported in 2024 following a 3rd conviction, but authorities say he later illegally re-entered the United States. A jury recently convicted him again, but Suffolk County Judge Brian Browns allowed him to remain free until sentencing, despite prosecutors' concerns about his flight risk. Sentencing is scheduled for October 2. The case has become part of a broader political argument over so-called sanctuary policies and cooperation between local authorities and federal immigration officials. Another case cited in that debate involves 18-year-old Sheridan Gorman, a Loyola University student who was fatally shot in Chicago in March. Jose Medina, a Venezuelan national, has been charged with her murder. Federal authorities also sought an immigration detainer in the case. Supporters of tougher enforcement say these cases demonstrate the risks of releasing people with criminal records. Critics argue that individual criminal cases should not be used to broadly characterize immigrant communities. The debate over immigration enforcement and public safety remains deeply divided across the country. This is Streaming News Network. The Justice Department has convened a rare special grand jury in Washington, District of Columbia, potentially giving federal prosecutors a powerful tool for investigating politically sensitive cases. The panel is expected to be overseen by Stephen Vander Velden, a senior ally of United States Attorney Jeanine Pirro. Officials have not disclosed what specific cases the grand jury will investigate. Unlike a standard grand jury, a special grand jury can concentrate on a single investigation or related group of cases. It can also issue a report identifying alleged wrongdoing even when prosecutors do not have enough evidence to bring criminal charges. Legal experts say these panels are highly unusual and are generally reserved for significant investigations involving government officials, organized crime, or broad conspiracy allegations. The development comes as President Donald Trump has pushed the Justice Department to pursue cases involving his political opponents. Grand jury proceedings remain secret, and prosecutors generally need to establish probable cause to obtain an indictment. The special panel can normally operate for 18 months, with extensions possible under federal law. The United States Attorney's Office in Washington has declined to comment. This is Streaming News Network. President Donald Trump says Russia has agreed to release former United States Marine Robert Gilman, who has been imprisoned there since 2022. Trump says the decision followed discussions with Russian President Vladimir Putin and was made on humanitarian grounds, with no prisoner exchange involved. Trump also said he spoke directly with Gilman, who reportedly made one request before returning home: a great cheeseburger. Gilman served in the United States Marine Corps from August 2019 through August 2020. He was arrested in January 2022 while traveling by train in the Russian city of Voronezh. Russian authorities accused Gilman of kicking a police officer while under the influence of alcohol. He was eventually sentenced to 4.5 years in prison. Gilman's father has disputed the allegations, saying his son was feeling unwell during the incident and accidentally kicked the officer. His father has also claimed the charges were fabricated. Trump says bringing detained Americans home remains a priority for his administration. The announcement did not indicate when Gilman is expected to arrive back in the United States. This is Streaming News Network. A young New Jersey woman says a visit to a Chanel boutique left her feeling judged and unwelcome after she had spent months saving money for a special purchase. TikTok creator Morgan Hilton says she had been working full-time for about 6 months while living with family and decided to reward herself around Christmas. She had been considering buying a pair of Chanel shoes and visited a New Jersey store to look at them. Morgan claims an employee immediately dismissed her and suggested she leave if she was not there to make a purchase. She says she felt the employee judged her based on her age and appearance. Morgan says the experience was especially frustrating because the store was not crowded and there were no other customers browsing at the time. She ultimately left without making a purchase and says the encounter changed how she viewed the luxury brand. Her account has sparked discussion online, with other shoppers sharing stories of what they describe as dismissive treatment at high-end retailers. Morgan's allegations have not been independently verified, and Chanel has not publicly responded to her claims. This is Streaming News Network. NFL fans are expressing concern after legendary sportscaster Chris Berman made a rare public appearance at the 2026 Pro Football Hall of Fame induction ceremony in Canton, Ohio. Berman, who is 71, attended the Hall of Fame festivities and the annual Hall of Fame game. While wearing a bright polo shirt and dress pants, it was his appearance and walking style that caught the attention of viewers online. Some fans expressed concern about his health, while others urged people to avoid making insensitive comments about someone simply growing older. One supporter noted that Berman appeared to have difficulty walking but still took time to stand and sign autographs for fans. Berman remains one of the most recognizable personalities in sports broadcasting. He became an ESPN icon through his longtime work on NFL primetime and his distinctive style of covering professional football. He is expected to have a role in ESPN's coverage of the 2026 NFL season. While online speculation continues about his appearance, there has been no confirmed public report identifying a specific health condition. This is Streaming News Network. At 80 years old, Dolly Parton is looking back on one of her most beloved songs and sharing a rare reflection on the meaning of being newly in love. In a recent discussion of her 1974 hit, Love is Like a Butterfly, Parton compared romantic love to the delicate nature of a butterfly, describing that feeling as gentle, innocent, and poetic. The song was written during her longtime marriage to Carl Dean, whom she had already been with for about a decade. Parton says her fascination with butterflies began during childhood, when she would follow them through the woods near her Tennessee home. The butterfly eventually became much more than inspiration for a song. Parton says it became a personal symbol, even influencing the design of the famous butterfly incorporated into the Dollywood name. Love is Like a Butterfly became a major country hit, reaching #1 on the Billboard Hot Country Songs chart and becoming one of Parton's signature recordings. More than 5 decades later, the song continues to offer a glimpse into Parton's views on love, music, and memories. I am J. Claude McDaniel for Streaming News Network. Thank you for watching and staying informed.
Thank you for viewing Streaming News Network videos, and also short and special reports. Please like, subscribe, and tap the bell to be notified of additional reports.